How much will a rental unit cost, and can I afford it? Knowing the answer to this question is very important before looking seriously at a rental. In reality, the actual cost of living in a rental unit is more than the cost of rent alone. Hello, I'm Amanda Kostman from the University of Wisconsin Division of Extension, and during this mindful money moment, we will discuss how much it will cost to be a renter, compare the cost of different rental units, and balancing your income with expenses. The first thing you want to do is make sure that you have a realistic and comprehensive spending plan. Your spending plan will be shorter than this example because you won't have all these expenses, but this is a good one to start with if you've never created one before. In the income section, you want to make sure that you only include income that you can count on. In the financial goals section, be sure to take into account any financial goals you have before committing to housing costs, since housing costs are usually one of the biggest expenses people have. Remember an emergency fund here. If your budget is tight, it can be the difference between making your rent and not. Always remember to take into account debt payments. Keeping track of your debt is mentally challenging, but it will help you understand your financial position and help you make those payments on time as well. In your monthly spending section, you may wish to exclude your housing costs for now and come back to these expenses after you see what is left and then fill it all in. The fixed expenses can be hardest to trim down if you need funds, and many housing costs will fall in this section. You will also have some flexible monthly expenses. These change from month to month or occasionally. Then we have the discretionary spending. This is the stuff that can vary a lot during the month or not. Use these categories as you need. It is your spending plan, so be realistic, otherwise you'll find yourself hurting for rent money. You are also going to want to identify infrequent expenses. These predictable expenses can really squeeze a budget if we don't plan for them. Then we have the balance sheet. This can help you know how your spending compares with your income. You can use this area to see what is left over and the maximum amount your housing costs can be to keep you on track. By using all the parts of the spending plan, the reliable income, the goals, emergency spending, debt payments, monthly and discretionary spending, and your yearly spending, you can determine how much money you have to spend on your future housing. You want to make sure you don't sign a contract for a home that you can't afford. It can be very costly to get out of a lease once it's signed. One recommendation is to be sure the properties fit into your budget before you look at them. Not all ads are created equal. Many have missing information. It is important to make sure you know what expenses you may need to take into consideration before you even start looking at units. Some ads will have information readily available. Some you will need to make some phone calls to determine the cost, and others, like gas costs, you'll need to estimate. Some are not aware that if an address is provided, utility companies can usually provide information on past usage and billing. Property owners can also be a good source of information. It's also important to remember that a lower rent does not always mean lower cost per month. You will want to know these costs and your budget before looking at rental units. To find more information on RentSmart, go to our website. Remember that extension educators are located in most counties in Wisconsin, so check with your local extension office to see if they are offering any RentSmart courses in your community. If you find that you would benefit from some additional rental education, but you cannot attend an in-person program, we are holding full RentSmart programs every month online. Thank you, and please tune in next week for another UW Mindful Money Moment.